Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of LostinTranslationmon. This time we're covering Digimon Adventure: 2020, episode 64, The Angel's Determination. I'm May, and this time I'm joined by some lovely, lovely women. So first up we have Evie.
Hello.
We have Chiloe.
Hi.
And we have Quinn.
Hey.
And so it's all of us, and we're going to be talking about the Digimon. But before we talk about the Digimons, we have some news. So first up, we have the September release calendar schedule thing that's come up, and it usually has things like, this is when the Vital Bracelet DIM will be released, this is where this figure will be released, this is how you can spend your money. And also, it would also include the episodes of Digimon that are coming up, but it had it goes to episode 67 of Colin, so that's a little bit interesting that we're getting 67 episodes at least. We might get more, we might get just 67. This might be Atogumi, we don't know, but the case is that there is more at some point, which is I thought we were going to not
I
do it,
literally
and I thought we were
think
gonna be
you're
done.
right, and we're gonna do all of the reuniting with parents and, oh, by the way, you're adopted speech in just one episode after we finish killing the big bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what,
I'm
as
so
soon as we
tired.
didn't address it. Yeah, as soon as we didn't address that in Koshiro's episode, I was kind of worried that would happen, but now it's just, oh, we're doing that, aren't we? We're definitely, I mean, it's better that they're doing it than not at all, but, yeah. Yeah, but, so...
It feels
Yep.
like we literally forgot and then remembered that, oh yeah, we can just tack on 20 more minutes to this show.
They can do that. They can. And
Anyway.
they will. Anyway, so the next bit of news is that there's another Digimon manga coming out. It's being released in the Saikyo Jump, which is Strongest Jump magazine in Japan, which the last one that was serialized in that was Atmon Gakuen, which never got a release in book form. It was just in the manga, in the Saikyo Jump, so that was kind of sad. So I really hope that this gets released, and if it doesn't, I'm just gonna buy the many issues of Saikyo Jump, and it'll just be, they're just huge. They are huge, big, thick boys of magazines. But anyway, so that's exciting, and it's drawn by the same illustrator as V-Tamer, so that's exciting. And Pulsemon is in it, so more Vital Bracelet stuff. So that's exciting, because I really do like the Vital Bracelets. So yay. And also, obviously, Ghost Game is coming out next month. So, considering there is an episode every week this month, do we get a rest?
I doubt it.
That's kind of weird that we're jumping straight from one series to another. I guess it means that it's successful enough, and the Vital Bracelet, I'm assuming, is also successful enough that not only we're getting Ghost Game, which has a Vital Bracelet tie in Digivice, as well as Digimon Dreamers, which is assuming with Pulsemon that it's Vital Bracelet
I guess
thing.
they decided the Vital Bracelet as GPS tie-in did enough for them. So now we can use the whole season around it.
Yeah, I just hope that it has nothing to do with adventure, because I really don't want to do any more adventure stuff ever. Oh, by the way, I don't think we spoke about it on the show, but there's a 02 movie coming out.
There
Oh
is?
God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's been a trailer, and Daisuke's talking about talking how he's making noodles with Vmon, and then some kid with some unknown Digimon shows up or something, and it's just
I thought
that's
it was a
happening.
dream.
That's
Yeah. Unironically.
Yeah, so 02 is the dream we can never awake from. But yeah, so that's the thing. I don't think, we didn't mention on the podcast, but I guess y'all didn't know. So yeah, 02 movie coming out.
I
That's
apparently
real.
saw this, and then, like I said,
Yeah,
it was all just a
it
dream.
was a dream, but you wanted it to be
no,
just
I
a
just
dream.
wished it was all a dream, and if only wishing could make it so.
If wishes were fishes, we would have more Apmon. Algomon's hanging out with his booty out, which is just a really weird sentence that I wish I'd never said, but it's, I don't know why, the artists don't have to make the Digimons have booties, but they definitely make, a very, very big choice to choose the booty, and I don't know, I'm sending...
They really
that they
did
were
make
also
the choice,
bold.
much like Kif, to emphasize the booty.
Yeah, I have put the booty in the chat, and I will put the booty in the link dump so y'all can see it. But like, I don't know why Algomon had to have a booty, but he do.
Oh my god, he's thick.
Yeah, Algomon's a thick boy.
What the fuck?
He's got like he's I don't know why he's thick, but like he's got, as I think the youth would say, he has the cake.
What?
Is that what they say? I don't
That's
know
what they
the
say.
youth anymore.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that there is this Togemon like model that you can 3D print, and it's called Togemon. But what if she had cake and she's got a booty? So I'm just assuming that's what the kids are calling booty nowadays. Like I don't know what was.
Do they not mean that Togemon's been eating too much cake?
I don't know.
I think that
because,
might
like,
be the insinuation of the you know.
But it like I don't. But
Cockney
it's not like
slang
people.
thing.
But it's people liking big butts, and they cannot lie.
Mm-hmm.
And my other brothers just can't deny. But if a girl
Okay.
works in your face, do you get, I don't know, digitized or something? I don't know. There's a digi. I tried to turn the digi-rap, but I just gave up halfway because I was just thinking about the song. And I
close
just
to
was
the
like,
best.
wait, where am I?
Then
I'm in the
you get
90s.
The Digivolution up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There we go. That's what it should have been. But anyway, so yeah, Algomon has a booty, which is something I didn't need to know, but thanks for the animators for doing that.
And
Why?
some serious calves. Let's got some gams going on here.
Yeah, like
He's thick.
like last time Algomon showed up, we were like, I was like thirsting for Algomon's like pretty boy face, but I guess we didn't see the everything else. But like Algomon is just goals for me. I kind of wish I looked like Algomon now.
You should get a cosplay. Holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is definitely like there's definitely some things going on there with Algomon, but like. Anyway, so yeah, Algomon has the booty, he do, which I think is like an ancient Tumblr meme back when people were on Tumblr. But anyway, yep, he has the booties. And then we have Tukaru and Patamon talking to Devimon because we're remembering that Devimon exists.
Yeah.
And Devimon's referring to a sound that gave him shape. And then we also see Tsukaimon, which is kind of cool, even though I have cursed memories of him. And I'm just glad we're just remembering Devimon existed, and we're kind of like not just establishing that Devimon is like a corrupted Angemon, but we also have Tsukaimon being Devimon's child form, which is great because, you know, parallels. We've got the purple one, we've got the orange one. One's good. Which one? I don't know. Purple's pretty cool though. So that's exciting.
So like I agree that in principle some of these ideas are good, but I don't think you get to bring Devimon back 40 episodes after he died to explain that actually he had a motivation.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
curious because I guess
yeah.
I must have missed it because it was before I was around. But when did Devimon become Spider-Man and or Venom?
Oh, yeah, it was Venom. I think that was like, I mean, it was the same episode that were the badly animated and drawn hand attacks that just kind of like flopped around.
Oh, no.
But that was like episode 20 and he was like the big bad. And by the way, Chloe, I think we might have mentioned it a few times, but during this like episode chunk of like, I want to say at least five episodes, the other kids that weren't Yamato, Takaru, or Taichi were just off watching some boats in the real world.
Yeah, they had to go deal with another crisis that literally only Koshiro could deal with by being the best hacker.
Oh, I think I maybe was watching that over your shoulder one day. I definitely remember something about boats now not colliding all of a sudden.
Yeah,
It was-
you weren't
yeah, that
on
was
the
a
show back
chunk.
then,
I
but
was
you
not.
watched a few of the episodes with
Yes, I did, yeah.
me.
That was a sizable chunk of the show, was
Yeah.
just them watching some boats.
And
Oh,
at
Taichi
no
got eaten,
point
by the way.
during this time did they mention being controlled by Soundbirdmon rather than controlling Soundbirdmon, really important distinction, or any of this other stuff that were... Anyway, I really wish
Yeah, I
that
mean-
Digimon would have learned by now to A, not have a prophecy be the main motivation for your entire show, and B, explain that you fulfilled the prophecy after you fulfill the prophecy.
I mean, I kind of appreciate that they're saying here that the Soundbirdmon aren't Devimon's creations and Devimon didn't, like, control them. He was just kind of also being used by them. And I do appreciate that they're doing something different from the original.
Yes.
Like, that is, I think I remember us complaining
I
that was
wish
just
we
like, oh,
found
it's
that
just
out
Devimon
30
Black
episodes
Ears.
ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it definitely would have been nice to know then, but I guess now, because we're only learning about the Great Catastrophe really now, even though we don't know anything, I mean, they could have...
I mean, the Great
mentioned it
Catastrophe
earlier.
is Negamon or whatever.
Well, and they said it
Yes.
was like everything turning to just a white void. So basically, it's just going into the Dirac Sea, like Shinji did in episode 16.
No, that's Pokémon's void. I mean, I know we're jumping ahead to the end of the episode, but that is so much just a Pokémon's void that we mentioned like the other episode.
Which was also Ava even at the time. Let's be
Oh
fair.
yeah, we're always Ava. It's always Ava. Is
I
this
mean, we
Ava?
even start
Always
off
was.
with a big old ball of souls, like in EOE.
Yeah, look.
Digimon is
The,
Ava? Always was.
Yeah, always was.
love that
Look,
meme.
Negamon does look a little bit like I guess what would happen if like an angel like merged with the demon beast inside the Evangelion units. There's definitely some horror going on there that looks
Yeah.
like that.
I wish I remembered Ava at all.
You should watch Ava.
It's pretty.
I don't want to.
The series is pretty good. The series is extremely
Watch-
good.
But to get like 90% of our references, you have to watch End of Evangelion and like
Never
watch
seen.
That
all
can
the
be
like
a lot, admittedly.
And y'all should hurry up and
Yeah.
watch 3.0 plus 1.0 so I can make jokes about it while not having to worry about
Okay.
spoilers.
I'll watch
My
it.
jokes
I think
are
I
mostly
might
gonna be
have
that
Amazon.
it was not very good.
That was directed at the audience, not at my co-hosts, but also.
But I
my
still have to
co-hosts if
watch
you
it.
would like to, yes.
We
No, I
should
do-
maybe
I do
set
want
a
to.
date by which we will, allow newer Ava jokes, but that can be a
Lost in
discussion for another
Evangelion.
time.
On the server.
That's
Come
what it would be
join.
called. Okay, anyway, so back to the actual Digimon and not the Evangelion Digimon, which is honestly in this season a lot. Takeru and also, wait, just step back a minute. What this part could have been just earlier on. Now I'm thinking, because I remember I got distracted with the Evangelion, but yeah, this could absolutely have been like any time after we find out that Devimon is like inside Patamon Awu and is like kind of talking to him.
Yeah, it could have been the
Like-
same episode. It could have been.
Oh,
I mean,
not the same, because there was kind of a lot going on in that episode, but at least like 5 episodes later,
Yeah.
or at least in the Great Catastrophe Soundbirdmon comes back episode, we could have had like this dream segment, or like Devimon's voice being heard over Patamon or something. He's like, "Oh, I remember these are what gave me my form," or something. But yeah, no, that is a
yeah.
good point. But at the very least, I am happy that it's here as opposed to
They
not
eventually
at
thought
all.
of a reason for Soundbirdmon to exist, and hey, I didn't think they were gonna, so I'll give them that.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, like at least, yeah, it's better that they're doing something than nothing, but also I think that my expectations at this point are so low because of the chunk of like bad episodes. Like the highest I've given in the last like 10 episodes is like a 3. So yeah,
I
this
am
this
begging
episode
you to
was
get a better project manager for the next season.
hopefully Ghost Game, hopefully, fingers crossed. Also the 02 movie, just leave Adventure alone. Just kill it. I was done with Adventure in 2002 when Tamers came out, and I was like, hey, this isn't a continuation of Adventure.
Yeah.
We're dunzos. Let's go. Let's do some new things. Atmon
I
was good. Let's do
maintain
more like
that
that.
a 2003 continuation of 02 could have been pretty interesting, just based
There
on like
wa-
stuff
there
they
was-
did in the last episode. But yeah,
There
it's
was
way past
one.
time.
There was like a CD drama that did that.
Yeah.
And it was set in 2003, and like Miyako talks about how she's obsessed with black tea and how she's got a crush on Ken, and she actually wants to like pursue something there.
Yeah,
So
like that could have been such a good season, and it just.
or just like
But
just a
like,
movie.
yeah, something. But yeah, the time has long since passed, and that
Oh yeah, just do new ideas now. We've got like new technology, but we don't need to see
Please,
the
and get a
old
new
kids.
main character.
Please, I beg of you. I'm still waiting for like a girl gold kid, and looks like we're not going to be getting that in the next season either.
No.
Though, and this is the last thing I want to say about things that aren't this episode, but we have the two of the main characters that aren't the main character have like one's a girl and one's a man. I would assume a man. He's pretty cool looking. I wish I was him. The man has a really feminine looking like tentacle jellyfish creature who looks very feminine, and the girl has this like yeti, this big buff looking strongman yeti, and I'm just like, oh, we're giving characters different gendered friends. That's great. I love that. They don't do that enough. They did it like with Miyako and Juri, but I can't remember any time they've given a feminine or female-coded Digimon to a male. That's exciting.
Yeah, unless you go to the German dub of Tamers.
And also, Iori was a girl in one of the dubs. I can't remember which one. I think it was the Spanish one.
Spanish, yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe Portuguese, or maybe both. I don't know. Anyway.
Possibly both, but I'm pretty sure at least Spanish.
Yeah, which is very cool. Like, I like that when they balance out that, and also Iori looks like she could be a little girl, and I like that. Takaru and Patamon promise to stop the impending doom, and Devimon's like, ha ha ha, of course you will, and this is really smug and cute, and I really liked it, and then he just pieces out. And then Komodamon barks and wakes up Takaru, who is then reunited with Tailmon and Hikari because plot convenience, and then they say that they should reunite with everyone, which I thought would take them, like, a little bit of a time, but everyone just sort of turns up in, like, 5 minutes during the battle, so that's fine.
They managed to synchronize their arrival times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awful convenient of them to have just, all gone off in, like, a
Diaspora?
single radius from a central point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all needed exactly the right same amount of time, despite taking different methods of travel to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mimi showing up was I know we're jumping ahead, but yeah, Mimi showing up was definitely the coolest because she's on a robot and Palmon just jumps off the robot and becomes Togemon. I'm just like, oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Wait,
Why
did they
her
digivolve
so
for no
cool?
reason, or had the fight started yet?
No, the fight. No, they showed up during the fight, so they all evolved because it was a fight. Yeah, as I said, I'm jumping ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Tailmon wondering if Devimon was created by the Great Catastrophe, and that is what led him to madness. And then Tailmon reminds us that it was good that we stopped Millenniumon, but we should now stop the Great Catastrophe, and that's basically what she says. Just to remember, I have memories and I am wise, even though I haven't spoken for 20 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Basically
Yeah, I
what she
could have
says.
filled you on the plot of this show at any time, but instead, I took a bath.
Yeah, which I can't. I mean, on one hand, I did like that she took a bath
goals,
because it was like
but
relaxing. Yeah. So then we have Soundbirdmon attacking the plot tree, and Wisemon says that Soundbirdmon's influence works better on Machine Digimon. I don't know why Wisemon's name isn't Expositionmon, because that's basically what he does. The
Sure
entire
does,
episode.
and it pleases his knowledge or whatever.
Yeah, it
which
brings
is-
joy to his knowledge or whatever.
It's
And
way
then,
more
like-
ooh-woo sounding than I'm comfortable
Yeah.
with.
You're not wrong. I'm curious,
Yeah,
is there any reason besides because he said so that it's more effective on like machine type Digimon?
I would say that it's like something to do with the sound and the frequency doing
It
a
was in the
science.
script?
I don't know. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
but, like, there's
also in
nothing
the
that's already
script.
been established in universe as to
No.
why that might be. Okay, so we
And
would
even
just
if
have to
there
invent a
were, it
reason.
would be a different season, so
I see.
new rules.
Okay, well
Yeah.
that's awful.
It was
Convenient
just
then,
super convenient.
Yeah,
Machines
which like
are just,
I'm
you
glad
know,
they say it.
pliable and easy to control.
Mhm.
This is not at all a statement on society.
Yeah, we are the machines. Something that kind of did not bring joy to my knowledge whatsoever was how tiny Pegasusmon appears in the next shot. Like, I don't know why, but he is just his small horse, which is weird. Like, I don't know why he just changed sizes. He almost looks like the same size as Wisemon, which is not.
It's an Ava reference.
Is it?
Everything is. Always was.
Just changing sizes conveniently.
Mhm.
I'm just enjoying my jokes like I do.
That's fine. We
I
all
dare you.
enjoy them. Pegasusmon and Takaru are thinking about if Soundbirdmon is the noise that Devimon mentioned in their dream, and then Taichi shows up, but everyone else does too, and I'm happy about this. This brings joy to my knowledge. And then we have Golemon from Digimon World show up, which is just like this like wireframe looking dude, and I'm just like, yes, good. I'm really a big fan of all these really ancient Digimon that are just coming back that have not been seen for like 20 years.
It's
It brings
a
joy to
true
my knowledge.
shame that it can't be called Tronmon.
The
Tronmon.
Misadventures of Tronmon.
Yeah,
That would have been a lawsuit.
it would have, which is why it's a dang shame.
That's a dang shame. That's
Oh.
in my dub.
I thought it
Yeah?
was called Rockmon, because that's what it's called in like the English version of Digimon World.
Yeah, yeah. Golemon and Rockmon are the same. Because there's the non-wireframe looking dude. This is just the Digimon World version of it.
In Digimon World, it's called Rockmon as well.
I was unclear if
Yeah,
that
but
Golemon was a
that's
real Digimon this time.
I mean, real as in real in the show, who knows?
Yeah, I
real
meant
as
in the
in-
sense of sentient and it's wrong to kill them, and
I don't know. Because I don't know what because it's definitely they're just the writers and animators are just pulling out like Digimon that they've not shown off ever, or at least for like 20 years. But like it was kind of cool that we had Golemon there.
Oh yeah, it was neat. I was just having not remembered that Golemon existed. I was just like, oh okay, so that's just like a construct made by the Soundbirdmon. That's a thing they apparently can do, and I'm
That
not
would be cool.
that far off from.
I don't
That would
think
be
we've
cool.
seen this Digimon since like the PlayStation 1 games.
I believe there was a card that came out in the card game like 20 years ago, but that's it.
Yeah, it was in Digimon World and Digimon Digital Card
Yeah.
Battle, and
Yeah,
that's
but,
all
I mean,
that's
we've
listed
seen-
on this wiki.
I mean, we've seen him as Golemon as in like the non-Digimon World version, which is just like he is the big rock
all
man.
over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. He showed up
He's the
literally
red
in this
shirt.
season. But this one is for some reason like this. Anyway,
Sorry, I just found a game facts thread called "Is Rockman supposed to be just a wireframe?"
oh,
That's like
that's
11
cute.
years old.
That's fair though.
And
That's
just
a
the
lot-
first
I
reply
would've
is,
thought
yes, he is supposed to look like that.
Yes. I wonder why he looks like that though. If they just sort of stopped. Like they're like, oh, we ran out of space. This person doesn't get any character. He just is. He still has more of a character than half of the characters in Digimon Adventure Colon, though.
No texture, only wireframe.
What a mood! It's how I feel. Like I
It's
don't
a
know
big
why, but
mood.
sometimes, like, do y'all ever feel like that? Like you're just walking around and you just feel like that? Because I don't know what it is, but sometimes it just happens where I'll just be walking, like I'll be like I don't know, going to Woolies to get some ice cream because I'm a thick boy, but I'm just be feeling like that. I'm like, I could just go through the floor. I don't think I'm real, and then like I get ice cream and I'm like, this is
I'm
real.
better now.
I like
I mean,
ice cream.
To pull out an obligatory Matrix quote, all the time, man. It's called mescaline.
Golemon.
Don't remember that part of the Matrix.
It's the drug dealer
That's all right.
dirtbag from the very first scene. He's not important.
Okay.
Neither are half the characters in the show.
It's true.
So we go to the room with the crests, and all the crests are now glowing, and then the Soundbirdmon combine to form Deathmon, but this is like another Digimon that is 21 years old, but we've not seen him in that colour scheme before. Usually his body is like a light grey, and his wings are kind of like a lighter colour, but this one's just like, they saw him and like, no, make him edgier. Also, here's my fun fact virtual pet corner for the week. For some reason, this obviously very much Nightmare Soldiers Digimon, and he is classed as a Nightmare Soldiers Digimon, was on the Wind Guardian Pendulum Cycle virtual pet. I don't know what Bandai Asia was smoking when they designed the Pendulum Cycle virtual pet, but I kind of want some because Bandai Asia, you did some things, and I have some questions. But yes, it was on the Wind Guardian Pendulum Cycle. If you're not familiar with what a Wind Guardian is, Palmon, Biomon, Togemon, the plants and the birds. Deathmon. I guess he has wings. But very much never classified as a Wind Guardian. Also, to the same sort of extent, on the Pendulum Cycle, version 7, which was the Deep Savers Pendulum Cycle, Moon Millenniumon. Deep Savers are fish. Moon Millenniumon and Millennium, it's confirmed for fish.
I mean,
Look.
it's a weird fish.
According
but
to the Catholic Church, certain kinds of rodents are technically fish.
What a mood.
It's a
I don't
fact.
know why I
Look
said
it
what a
up.
mood there, but yeah. There's a lot of things in the Catholic Church that are things. I don't know much about religion. I just know what I know from John Mulaney, and apparently they changed a line in the what they say at the church. That's all I know. There's my extent. I did not get any Catholic education. I get it all from pop. I almost said pop culture, but that's like a dog. Pop culture. There we are. I can't do words. Let's continue before I just fall through the floor and seat. So yes, that was a weird thing about the virtual pets and the Wind Guardians. Very confusing. Don't know why Bandai Asia did that, but they did. Sometimes it be like that. Never question the Digimon Pendulum Cycle or Bandai Asia. We see shots of all the Digimon that we've met, and they're all watching the Soundbirdmon in the sky, and then we get back to the main characters, and Wargreimon's there apparently. I don't remember him evolving, but there he is.
Don't
Nobody else has
complain.
evolved, Mega.
They skipped the
I can't-
Digivolution animation. Do not complain.
Oh, good point.
Look
Good
what
point.
they've
Good point.
done to you, Air.
Yes, but why did we only get Wargreymon standing there? Because he does nothing except for glow. Nobody else has evolved.
We have Micro
Like-
Angemon and Angemon.
What?
Yeah, I know,
what
but
part
no,
of
in this scene-
protagonist do you not understand? He had to be at least as important as the main character of the episode.
That is a point. That is a very, very good point, actually. Yeah, good point. Anyway, and I'm guessing
who was
that they were
apparently
glowing.
Kakeru.
I was actually just gonna
Like,
ask who
yeah.
it was.
Like, I mean, War Greymon was glowing, so I kind of thought that maybe he was giving his energy to help Holy Angemon and Angelomon evolve, but also I would have expected Metal Garurumon to also be there, to also give the power because siblings or something, but I don't know. They just had War Greymon glowing for some reason, and I just shouldn't question it at this point. So yeah, we have Holy Angemon and Angelomon evolving to Seraphimon and Ophanimon in a very cool and well animated evolution sequence. Big fan of it. But my one complaint is that I feel like since we saw Lotmon should also evolve to the Holy Digimon, Cherubimon, so we can kind of like have her helping out Digimon in the other areas and
In fairness,
Doing
we
her best.
might next week.
I was gonna say there's still 2 more episodes, or maybe 3 apparently.
I will even grant them that I have been surprised that they remembered Lopmon still exists. So
they remembered everyone existed.
I know
They remembered
it's
so
one of
many
the
things.
only things that they've been consistent about in this series. They didn't remember to write a plot, but they sure did remember all the characters they introduced.
Yeah, which is great because there was some great Digimon that they introduced, and I really liked seeing them all again because I know I've said this a lot, but I really like the fact that they're just pulling out these really obscure Digimon out of basically like obscurity, just like sitting there being on like a card game, maybe a virtual pet, usually the Pendulum X because we all forget that exists. But yeah, big fan of that. Also lots of Digimon World games. Big fan. Big fan. So yep, they defeat Deathmon and we get some pretty cool animation of attacks that are kind of like happening to Deathmon. Really do like the animation this episode.
Can I
There are a
mention
few
that I
parts
hate
Yep.
Deathmon's whole appearance?
Yes, it's terrible.
I
and I'm
think
gonna
that's the
mention it in
idea.
my lowlights.
No, I just mean like it's just not good.
No, yeah. It's very much just an eyeball in like a bodysuit.
Someone
With
definitely
wings.
needed a vague demon-like thing in 1997.
I think this debuted in like the year 2000. Like it's like kind of like an old one. Like
Yeah,
I would
so
consider
that-
like
that was
anything
the
in
point I was
2000s or old.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah, but I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know. I still have the picture of Algomon's booty on my screen because I wanted to keep it on in my browser for the link dump later on when I'm editing.
That's why.
But I just keep on getting distracted. I'm just like, I don't know why, but my next thought was like, why didn't they give Deathmon a booty? I don't know why. I just sounded like Phantom, like, be careful of his razor sharp tusks. Haha, no easy tusk. Sorry. I don't know why I started doing that when I was talking about Deathmon's booty, but like I guess that's just in my brain how like
'Cause we
the
want the
animators
rump.
and
Gotta have that rump.
they gotta have that rump. It's a fresh rump cake. I don't know. The word cake still like is that what the kid's saying? I don't know. I'm officially too old.
That's a
Look,
mood.
The kids say cake, and I choose to believe they're referencing a band.
and we're going back to the
next
distance
one.
again. Well done. How many? Can we like have a Lost in Translation Mon drinking game where it's just like take a shot every time Quinn mentions cake because I'm pretty sure she's mentioned it like 4 times.
Wait, is cake a
Yo!
band?
Yeah.
Or were you on
Maybe not
the
that
Mac?
many.
Were you on the Macmon episode where it was just like the entire time Quinn and I were just referencing Cake's
going the
1990s
distance.
banger, the distance.
I think
Going
Evie
full
wasn't on that
speed.
week, which is a real
Oh.
shame because it
That
was
might
Yeah,
be
that's a
banger.
real
worse,
shame.
Yeah.
It was like I usually write like a little blurb for like the description for each episode, but for that episode it was just the lyrics for the distance.
Oh yeah, I
And-
was there. I just forgot it happened.
That's fair, but
That's valid.
it's a good song though. Anyway, so the animation of the attacks are great. Big fan of those. Algomon still distracting me. And then Algomon says the big bad's name, Negamon. Glad we're saying that. Previously, this Digimon was question mark on the Digivice colon toy. Glad we're giving that a name after a year almost. That came out in November last year. So that's a thing. And then the kids and their crests glow, and the children briefly enter space for some reason, but then the crests are gone, and then there's a white void outside, and we're hopefully not doing a Pokemon. Slight side enter to the maze virtual pet corner, but The Vital Bracelet app has raids where you can put in your Digimon from your Vital Bracelet onto the app, and then you can raid with your friends online. They've gone through Diaboromon, and they've gone through other Digimon like Golfmon and Blackwall Greymon and Venom Vamdemon. And interestingly, the Digimon that is raiding for the next 10 days as of this point is a Pokemon, which feels like interesting timing.
Maybe, yeah, potentially.
I'm really hoping that we're not doing a Pokemon, because that would be a little bit too much like before.
I definitely feel like we might be evolving into a Pokemon.
Yeah, and if Negamon's just it turns out that Negamon's not the big bad, it's just a friend of a Pokemon, or just he's horsey.
I just think Negamon is just going to evolve into a Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
No,
that also
They're
works.
roommates.
We're gonna lock a Pokemon behind a firewall and reset everything.
And
This is
then
actually a
give him
prequel
pizza.
to the
No.
original series.
No.
God, I
No.
almost hope that's true, but then we have to make Genai, who,
Genai
Genai
is
is
Mimi's
a
grandfather.
No, Genai's a copy of Koshiro that he made.
Nah,
Please,
Mimi's
no.
grandfather.
yes,
Please,
he could be Mimi's grandfather.
Because
He was
we
evil
gave
all
Mimi's
along.
we gave so much character to Mimi. We as in us, but also the show did give Mimi's
a lot
grandfather's
of time
got.
to Mimi's grandfather, the wonderful capitalist.
Yeah, because what do we know about any of the other relatives of the children that aren't, in the show? We know that the mother of Taichi and Hikari exists.
And has memory issues.
And we've seen her. That's about it. We haven't really... We've barely seen...
a few others. Sora's mom exists.
No, that was in Shadows. You didn't see... you only saw, her very far away.
Yeah.
We've seen, Yamato and Takeru's parents, far away without faces, which is horrifying. So, I don't know. I feel like we've
parents?
seen him very up close, and we've been consistently reminded that he exists. I feel like at this point, I think I'd be a little bit disappointed if Mimi's grandfather's not just a big bad, or at least somewhat relevant, because of how much of a character he all of a sudden has. Not all of a sudden, he's continuously had. That'd be weird, but I guess we're just saying, hey, remember, we in the future now. I don't know.
Yep, you are reliant upon your corporate overlords.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth? The episode ends and we're learning about Seraphimon this week, but of course Patamon introduces us to Seraphimon and says that his armor is very heavy, so his 10 wings work hard, and then we find out that we're going to be focusing on a Phanimon next week. So that's cool. I like a Phanimon. I prefer Holydramon, but a Phanimon, yeah, it'll be nice to know things, because she did show up in this episode, so...
Yeah,
Yay.
and is apparently subservient to the... What was the quote? At the end line, the description that Koshiro gives is oh yeah, not Holy Angemon. I've got a screen cap here. Seraphimon is said to be the highest being who governs all angel Digimon, so...
Oh yeah, okay.
Yep.
That's
cool,
annoying.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting him first, too.
I kind of wish that they were on the... I always thought they were on the same level.
They
But yeah, I think I...
are and should be, but we certainly decided to make that canon.
Yeah, my brain definitely blocked that part out, because yeah, that does suck. Not unlike Algomon's booty. The Great Catastrophe! Now that we're done discussing the synopsis, let's discuss the discussions. What were your highlights?
I'm glad we finally got what I felt like plot moving forward. And I actually felt for the first time things were actually moving towards something important this episode.
Yeah, for all that I
absolutely.
complain about when they revealed it, the Soundbirdmon stuff was kind of interesting.
Yeah, and it's nice they revealed it and they actually they're doing something with it. It's not just the Soundbirdmon aren't just oh look, plot convenience. They're actually addressing that.
I
No,
do
the
wish we
Soundbirdmon
didn't
were
have
actually
to have
controlling
two
everyone.
characters sit in a room and discuss with each other how 4 unrelated events actually were all related all along.
That's valid. But as much as I hate to admit it, other than just the plot convenience aspects of it, I actually do think I kind of like the design of Soundbirdmon. The visual design of it itself is kind of cool. The little neat little visual effects during the Soundbirdmon attack was another thing on my list of highlights. It's it was it's a nice little subtle thing that looked kind of neat. I liked it.
Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned it when you were on the podcast, Chloe, but Soundbirdmon was actually designed by a fan.
Oh really? That's awesome.
Yeah, there are a bunch of Digimon that were done as part of a competition, And they would just do this, like, every so often. Like, Dobermon's another one. In this episode, there was a pencil Digimon running around the background. That one was designed by a fan. And all these was, like, 10 years ago at least. Like, the ones of Soundbirdmon and Akakimon, which is the pencil. And, yeah, so these kids are now probably, like, older teenagers at least, or maybe even 20 if they were 10 at the time.
Oh, God. If
it's
anybody knows the Soundbirdmon designer, ask if they'd want to come on for a minute. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like, but imagine, like, you drew this thing when you were, like, 10, and now it's, like, a big, like, almost focus point of a season, and especially an episode, or several episodes. Like, how, like, you'd either be super cringed about it, like, oh my gosh, I drew that when I was 10, or you'd be, like, super proud.
Oh, God,
maybe,
no, I
like,
want
feel
them
like
to
you
be
could
a
be
super
both.
fan, and, potentially a bit of both, but, like, it's a good design. It's not like, it was a really crap idea that happened to win.
No. Oh no, they were all, like, really good ideas, like, and now they're being put out in the cards, and so these Digimon that were designed in a competition are still being used. Like, I just really like that. Like, that it's not just a once-off, like, hey, we took your drawing, child, and made it into, like, we stylized in the Digimon way. No, in Cross Wars, they actually put it in the episode, and also they're still using it now, which is also, like, this 10-year-old designed a character. Like, that's just really cool to me. Like, cool, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, it makes me happy whenever they show up. But yeah, I am a fan of the fact that we're giving Soundbirdmon more of an explanation, and that we're remembering Devimon exists. Like, I'm kind of happy that we're still doing something with that. We're not just, like, forgetting it now that we've know all about it and had that explanation. I like this episode. Maybe it's because, like, the last chunk of episode had been so bad. Like, I've just given 1s and 2s across the board. But this episode, I really liked it. I'm just still looking at Algomon's ass, I'm sorry. Like, there were things I liked about this episode. Hey, I can think of at least 2 things I like about this episode.
Okay.
Left and right.
Yep.
God.
But, yeah, I don't know why that... I still don't know why. I'm glad that we saw it. I'm glad Algomon is here. I'm glad that we've given Algomon a voice. He's not just, like, dead in episode 1 and actually being used.
I'll be honest,
I'm
I
kind of
had
happy.
forgotten about Algomon.
Same. I don't know if I ever knew about Algomon, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he was in, like, the first chunk of episodes.
Yeah, like, I remember Algomon
Yeah.
existing. I just went, oh, right, but I, like, don't remember a lot of the details, because you're asking kind of a lot of someone to remember the existence of a character they've seen almost a year ago.
And now the show is asking you to remember Algomon. It's another booty joke.
Well done, well done.
Thank you. But yeah, I liked the animation this episode. I was a big fan of that. I'm glad that we're getting some Digimon coming back from, 20 years ago. Just obscure, like, little references of Digimon showing up. That's really cool. And again, Deathmon showing up. That's kind of cool. And yeah, there was a lot that I liked about this episode. I enjoyed it, but I don't really have any, like, big highlights in particular, other than just, like, overall I enjoyed this episode, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's valid. So you'd mentioned the animation. I do agree that the animation was pretty good this episode, but another thing that was actually a moment of kind of bad animation that still made my highlights list was there was this weird, like, almost jelly-like trembling effect on Angemon's, like, mouth and hands when he was shouting his evolution sequence, and it was just, chef's kiss. Perfect. God, it was phenomenal.
Yeah. No,
I can think of something else that was jelly-like.
I can think of 2 things. Haha.
You did it. Yay! But, yeah, I just, why? I'm sorry I keep on bringing it back to booty, but, like...
It's kind of a lewd episode. There was a particular segment with some beams penetrating each other that was a little lewd.
You're not wrong. I gotta say, it's been a horny season.
There's that badonkadonk.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Algomon's bum. I have no other thoughts, like, brain empty.
So I think we're gonna need an episode for an Atogumi to recap and just really, collect our thoughts on what a horny season this was, among other things, I assume.
Why? Why are they doing anyway? Any other highlights that aren't related to Algomon's thick booty?
Actually, kind of goes in the opposite direction, and it's mainly because I don't know any of these characters' designs already, but I did kind of like that we didn't follow the trope that I see so often of, female-coded character gets stronger and gets less clothes. Like, she gained armor. She still had her, like, stomach exposed, which would make no sense in armor, but at least she, like, gained armor, and it was... Yeah, so that was nice to see.
Yeah,
Digimon typically does well with that. Like, typically doesn't feel the need to strip it. I mean, there is a Digimon who is just, like, meant to be sexy, and it's Lilithmon, she's, like, the great demon lord of lust, so it kind of makes sense. But overall, the feminine-coded Digimon...
And, at least a few others that I can think of. They like their horny women.
Yeah, but they do it with men as well. Like, I don't feel like it is...
Yeah, like,
I don't
in
think
retrospect,
it's, tipped
when
one
thinking
way.
about it, like, most of the Digimon are just out here fighting buck-ass naked most of the time, so,
That's
like,
true.
by comparison, I guess it's not that bad, but...
Yeah, I mean, Leomon has pants. No shirt, though. Same with Gargomon. Like,
He's got pants now.
yeah, he's got pants now, not a shirt.
And he's still alive! Is that just, like, how much of a meme is it, or how accurate is it that Leomon always dies? Is this going to be
It's
the first time that
every si-
Leomon
ev-
survives?
Yes.
Maybe?
Not quite. So this is the time that Leomon was a character and was revived in the ER, so technically survived. There's the season Leomon never showed up in, and
No, I would say he wasn't... I don't think Loemon counts as Leomon. He's just a lion-looking dude, but I don't
he's
consider
German
him as...
Leomon. It's literally
Yeah, but I don't-
Loemon. Come on.
Yeah, but I don't count him as being...
He died on
look,
screen.
Okay, but look, Frontier actually did have a Leomon variant show up, and it did die. It had Pandramon, which is the white Leomon, and he died. So,
I'm sorry,
It
but
still happened
German
in season
Leomon
4.
counts.
but also, a Leomon did die in Frontier at
Yes.
least.
That's true.
Cross Wars had Mad Leomon, who died in like the second episode.
Yeah. Let's see
Speedrun.
here.
Atmon didn't have a Leomon, but one of the main characters, Digimon, did look like a Leomon, like in wrestling gear,
Yeah,
but wasn't
yeah.
called Leomon.
So yeah, no, it's not unheard of for Leomon to survive, but it is definitely unusual that Leomon is still alive.
Okay.
And I'm curious to see if
We'll actually make it all the way through.
we'll make it through. I
He's
also,
alive because
I
it's
wonder-
a prequel. He can't die yet.
Yeah.
depends how much
Confirmed.
universe shenanigans we feel like doing, because Adventure has done a lot of universe shenanigans.
Yeah. Rio shows up at the end. He is the Great Catastrophe. No.
Rio shows up at the end to have Moon Millenniummon help him avert the Great Catastrophe.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's Altogumi, by the way.
Yeah,
Spoilers,
that is
I've seen it
Altogumi.
already.
Yeah, you're from the future. Any other highlights?
Patamon.
Yeah.
He's a
That-
pudgy
that is
Patamon is
boy.
pretty good.
Not as pudgy as Algomon. In the booty. I don't know why I keep on going back to that.
It's because there's
I'm
nothing else good in this
Distracted.
episode.
It has a gravitational pull.
I tried to
That's
make a
some
joke there,
dense
but it just didn't work.
booty.
He got the booty. I don't know why. Anyway, lowlights, and by lowlights, I do not mean below the belt lowlights. I mean actual, like, things we did not like in this episode.
How could anyone dare call Algomon's booty a low light? Anyway,
It's
I
very
just-
high up. He got long legs.
I just have to constantly keep reminding myself that this is, in the end, a children's show. Anytime I get frustrated by all the times that there's, like, just weird Deus Ex Machina, like, all the children arriving at the same time, and, like,
That's
recapping
that's
things
Digimon.
that happened literally the last episode, or, like, when we literally had the moment of, oh, yeah, the real treasure was the friends you made along the way.
Yeah, that's my low light. Is that quest we sent you on way back in episode like 4? Yeah, the great mystery of the crests was literally the friends we made along the way.
It's a children's show, you know?
Yeah, but also
Yeah.
it's a shonen. Like, you can't, like, I'm
I
not
just
going
wish
to count
they
that.
put like any amount of effort into it.
I got distracted and breathless there because Evie has removed the background from the Algomon image
That's
where
gotta
he
get on
has
the
the booty.
server.
Yeah, I'll after the recording, I'm gonna add that to the server, which is a reason why y'all should join the Lost in Translation Discord server now that it's open to the public, because we have that ass. Anyway,
It's gonna be colon,
As for lowlights-
thick with 2 C's, colon.
that's the colon. Oh, that's a Photoshop I can, or not even a Photoshop. I can do that in MS Paint. The just rotate Digimon Adventure : and it's just. It's just the image rotated and I'm just put on the logo. This is me just brainstorming what I'm going to do in like 5 seconds.
There we go.
Well, not 5 seconds. Once we're done.
Anyway,
So yeah, I can't count that as a low light. Not the booty, the what you just said before we got distracted by the booty again is about like those general tropes, because those are general tropes of like shonen shows in general, where it's very much just like we go on a quest in episode 1 and now we go on the same quest in episode 60.
Hadn't spent 60 episodes following around a rock and some arrows to be told that the entire point was following the arrows.
That's
And
shonen.
making friends.
That is so shonen. Like
It's a very shonen thing, though. I can't.
that is
disagree with
incredibly
that.
shonen. It
I'm
is.
just
This
exhausted
is like
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is somehow like the most shonen that Digimon has ever been, which says a lot because there was a season where the main character would just punch things, and that is very shonen.
Yep.
Like Digimon Saver's also incredibly shonen, but this season definitely like shonen's Digimon Savers, and that's definitely saying a lot because that was very shonen, and I love it. I love Digimon Savers. Punch more things. It's fun. I like that.
I also wish that after we spent an entire arc activating our crests, that the crests meant something.
I like they disappeared.
Yeah, and
Now they mean something. Off they go. There it goes. Into the sunset. Goodbye.
Yeah, I loved that we brought up the monoliths, but I have to say they are clearly a pluralith when you've got 8 of them sitting in a circle.
Ba-dum.
That's a good one.
That was very good.
That was very, very good. I'm very
I like
proud
that
of you.
joke.
It was also
Yeah, that was
extremely
very
Seele for the record.
It kind of was.
Yeah, I mean, I think even when they first showed up, I was getting like incredibly Seele feels from the whole, everything showing up. Like the way that they were in a circle, I think I was just saying that's Seele the entire time.
Yep. Plus we also had Devimon briefly show up in Seele mask form again.
Excellent.
Yeah, that too.
There were a couple animation things that made my lowlights this week. Namely, and Quinn did inform me that this one was apparently some stock footage that had been reused a couple times, so I guess it wasn't unique to this episode, but it was the first time I'd seen it. And I even had her stop the video to get the timestamp because it was so bad. With the clashing of, good and evil Digimon forces in the air, and they just all, kept equidistant from each other and clashed physically, despite not touching. It was, oh god, I hated that. So I'm sorry
was
that
very lazy.
I'm sorry that apparently all of you have had to experience that far more times than I have.
Oh yeah.
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 And also it's kind of a crass way to put it, but there were many shots that just made it look like Deathmon was like literally someone just stuck limbs, eyes, and wings on like a big old turd. I did not like Deathmon.
Yeah, that is absolutely
Yeah, Deathmon, especially to be like the harbinger of the apocalypse, was just kind of lame.
Yeah, I totally get that.
There was a point where they had
Yep.
said that they were using radio waves to intercept the sound waves, or maybe I had that vice versa.
Yeah.
they were.
And I
Radio
just
waves
like
to
to
intercept
Yep.
the sound waves.
State for the record that
Yep.
sound and radio waves do not work that way. Good night.
But maybe they do in the digital world.
Maybe they do in the digital world, but I kind of doubt it. And then lastly, they were talking about how like, oh yeah, there's just going to be this new evil that might even surpass Millenniummon, and they say that like it's a big deal. Like, for all the like Great Catastrophe is getting hyped up, we sure have taken care of every big incident in an episode or less, it seems like,
Yeah, Millenniummon died very quickly, and I'm still fairly
Millenniummon died in an
disappointed.
episode, Deathmon died in an episode. I'm sure there have been others.
Devimon took a surprisingly long time for a character who kind of didn't matter, except as
He
a pawn of the
evolved.
Great Catastrophe, I guess.
Also, Algomon kind of never really died. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna booty.
There it is.
Algomon
I-
will
like,
never die.
Like, I thought of Algomon, like, in separate from Booty, and then, like, as soon as I said Algomon, like, my brain just went to
back.
Booty. Like, I reminded myself by mistake, but even though I'd forgotten when I mentioned it, I wish I didn't do that.
I do want to say that Algomon's booty was too powerful to be an emoji. I'm having to contain it in a smaller image.
It's okay, I will make it possible. Anyway, so, there were some minor things that I didn't really care for much in this episode. Mainly, I felt like the evolution that we have from the angels was, even though it was pretty cool and I really enjoyed that, and I enjoyed that it was kind of well animated and I appreciated that, the evolution itself felt like it happened very suddenly and felt like kind of forced. Like all of a sudden we were just like, oh, everyone's together and we're all like powered up, and all of a sudden, oh, evolution's happening. Like, I don't know why, it kind of surprised me. Like, I don't know, it was like, oh, we're doing it. Even though I knew that there was an evolution coming in this episode, I was kind of like,
at work? I was trying to think of
don't
reasons
know.
they might have just been able to just go like that.
I mean, they'd already activated the crests, so, like, they kind of can just do that at will now, but it just really, like, plot-wise, it was very rushed, and then the episode just kind of ends, and, like, I don't care about them killing Deathmon, because Deathmon was a stationary target who fired lasers sometimes.
And, like, my other fairly minor complaint is that I don't feel like any of the characters had personalities. Like, maybe Palmon for, like, calling out Wisemon for saying a catchphrase, but
Yeah,
no
none of the
character really
humans,
stood out.
Like, you could just remove them, you don't even need any of the dialogue they said. The episode works just fine without them.
No, Quinn, please don't say that, because what if they just do X Evolution again? Because they keep on doing X Evolution.
They sure do keep doing X Evolution.
And I'd rather them not. So please do not mention taking out the children, because then we'll just do X. As soon as we do that,
Cock's
like,
gone.
it's dangerous. I'm surprised we haven't brought up Yggdrasil yet. Surprised. Like, we went to a giant tree of life, and we're like, we didn't bring up Yggdrasil, and I'm surprised. I don't know why I expected it, but
Yeah.
they didn't do it.
Yeah, we really haven't done a lot of either one of them. Because homeostasis hasn't shown up either, which is at least something.
Yeah, I mean, have we had any, like, inkling that some form of, like, that homeostasis or some form of that similar being is in this show?
Not really. We've just had, generic light child powers, as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
And
there was,
Takuru's
like-
had all of them too, which has been
Yeah.
sort of nice.
Yeah, like, we haven't had anything that's unique to Hikari. Like, Takuru's
We've
also
things
had, like,
be
glowing
unique
feathers.
To Taichi, because, he's the specialist boy.
Yeah, they're gonna give homeostasis to him, and homeostasis can take him and have him. I don't care.
Oh
Any other
no,
lowlights?
what if Taichi became bland and uninteresting?
Oh no.
What an awful world that would be.
Oh, another highlight is that the fact that I don't think Taichi really spoke at all, and that was really great. Like, I like that he didn't just sort of randomly give exposition, like it was other characters were giving the random exposition, and he felt just as important as the characters who weren't Takuru and Hikari.
I wish that we didn't need this much exposition to explain how our 4 arcs combine.
With your 4 arcs combined, I am Algomon's booty.
I was gonna say Autogumi, but, potato.
Artogumi. Look,
Just
Artogumi
it's just
and
22
Algomon's
minutes of
booty.
staring at Algomon's booty.
We could just do that. Just say
It's just
sorry.
hypnotic.
No podcast. Sorry, no podcast this week. We were I was too distracted by the booty. So yeah, our favorite character. I'm not choosing Algomon's booty. I would just want to be clear there. Algomon's booty is not my favorite character in this episode. I have another character, but Algomon would have been a good choice. I chose Devimon because I was happy to see Tsukaimon, even though that Digimon gives me cursed memories from something I found on Google once. And also it was just nice that we have Devimon reminded that he existed. We have the evolutions and reminded that they existed. We have him saying that the Soundbirdmon are what controlled him, not the other way around. I really liked that, so Devimon is my favourite. But Algomon booty also do.
Devimon is a
Evie,
pretty solid choice.
Yeah. Evie, who's your fave?
Patamon.
That is, I could have just, I don't know why I even asked, I could have just written that down and just said, Evie, your favourite's Patamon,
It's
and
just
then moved
cute.
on. Like, I don't know.
That's all I want.
He is. Yeah, that is completely fair. Like, Patamon is cute. And Chloe, we'll go with Chloe first,
All right.
because we'll mix it up. So, Chloe, who's your favourite?
Yeah. Well, I hope I speak for both Quinn and myself when I say that my favorite character is the Great Catastrophe, because the real Great Catastrophe is the friends that you made along the way.
I like that. I'm glad that we remembered to say that for the recording.
But I also have way to ruin the illusion.
God, Air.
I'm just
Breaking kayfabe.
I'm sorry.
I'm
word
sorry
I
that
learned
I'm
from
breaking
you.
kayfabe.
For all of y'all who
so-
don't get the early episodes, I said something very funny before we started actually doing the episode off the cuff, and then I had to try to recreate it here so that y'all could see it, and then Air just ruined
You did
the
really
illusion.
well. I'm sorry for breaking kayfabe, and I'm
It's
sorry for
okay.
teaching everyone the word kayfabe.
What's kayfabe?
You should be.
That's valid.
It's
also,
in okay. So you know how wrestling is like kind of just like a stage performance, and the actors don't actually
No.
hate each other. They're actually all super great friends, or maybe they're not. Who knows? So when someone breaks kayfabe is when you see the two guys who were just saying, "Oh, I hate you, and I'm gonna meet you right here in front of all these people and smash this chair over your head and climb the stairs to get to the belt, and I'm just gonna destroy you. You are dirt." And then you see them like grabbing a drink together, and they're just like laughing and just like being chummy. It's kind of like.
It's that one
breaks
specific
kayfabe.
episode of Looney Tunes.
Okay.
People sufficiently old enough got my joke and thought it was very funny.
Well,
I
crickets from me.
should have. I did that joke just went over my head. I'm sorry. I guess I'm
okay,
not
it's
sufficiently
okay.
old enough.
Honorable
Yeah,
mention
that
is
is what kayfabe is.
Angemon's jelly hands.
So Quinn, who's your favorite character?
I think I'm gonna go with the Pluralent.
Oh, we're choosing abstract concepts. This must be a bad episode.
It was not my favorite. I thought it definitely had redeeming qualities, but I'm supposed to be getting hyped up for the big final boss, and I'm like, oh,
That makes me sad.
you finally
That makes
realized
me
we should remember who the final boss is.
That is fair. That is fair. Like, I mean, y'all have fair complaints, but I really liked this episode. And moving on to my rating, I gave it a 4 because I really liked this episode, and like the last few episodes have been like so not great, and this episode I liked and I just appreciated it. And like the complaints that I did have for this episode were very minor. I liked this episode, and yeah, while like if I compared it to any of the other good episodes in this season, I would probably not like it as much. Or if we had like a steady stream of good episodes, this episode probably wouldn't have been that good. But because it's just after like a chunk of episodes that like I haven't given a 4 since episode 40. Like it's just been a very sad chunk. Oh no, I gave somehow 2 5s in a row to 42 and 43. But ever since then, just like not good marks. Oh, apparently 45 was a 5 as well. I don't know what happened there, but I must have enjoyed it. But yeah, ever since 46, it's just been low. That's good. I'm glad. I put that down. I feel validated, but I'm still. I don't know. I really like this episode, and I feel like this episode did a lot better than the last chunk of episodes have been.
Oh,
and
definitely.
it was it. I know it made me actually. I know you just said that it doesn't make you hype for the ending, but it actually did make me look forward to the ending. Like I want to see what's happening next. I want to know more about Algomon's booty. I just want to know more about what's happening.
I will admit
Like,
to
I
being
wanna
the
see
slightest
more.
bit hyped to know what's next, and maybe it's just because I haven't really experienced a Digimon ending in real time before, but, you know.
That's fair. That is fair. But I'm just
That's
like, I mean, I would also like to know what episode we're ending on. That would be cool. Apparently, it may not be 66 if they've written down episode 67 on the calendar. Unless they mean Artogumi, but it doesn't say Artogumi. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, 4 out of 5. I like this episode. It was solid. Maybe not compared to all Digimon, but definitely for the last chunk. Evie, what are we giving this episode?
It was fine, so I'm just gonna give it a 2.5.
That's fair. And Quinn?
I'm gonna go with a 3.5 because I did like the episode in a vacuum. The problems with it are, systemic to the series. And even then, I still think we could have probably done a little better than Soundbirdmon clump into a turd with legs.
Why couldn't they have just done that from the beginning? I'm unclear on that.
They could, presumably.
Because...
It would have been
What?
unsporting.
They could have kicked off this whole Great Catastrophe so much earlier then.
Yeah. And
They're
now I'm
just
looking at
giving
our...
them time to get ready,
Excuse
just to
me,
be
I would
sporting
like
about
to
it, yeah.
amend my favorite character. It was the script.
Okay, alright, I will write the script, which is usually Tailmon, but this time it
Is
was
it-
just Wisemon, I guess.
Is it the script a band?
Couldn't tell you.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. That would make a lot of
It
sense.
doesn't say- Cake's a band, and Algomon does have that cake, and he can go the distance. I don't know why I keep on doing that. Anyway, so, away from the booty, this episode got an overall score of 10, so that means it is the same as episode 55, which I did actually have selected in my list, but unfortunately when we mentioned the booty, I clicked away and I deselected it. So, that means that it matches up with episode 55, which is the Digimon School Under Attack, which is in 26th place. Do we like this episode more or less than episode 55, which was the Rosemon debut?
More.
I'd say more.
I think more, because like
I don't
yeah,
know.
that episode was kind of like, it was just, I liked it, but yeah, I gave that one, I gave a 3 to.
I gave that
So-
a 3 as well, but I don't know. My scale's all over the place now.
It'd
So
be that
Yeah,
way.
no, I think mine are too. I kind of want to just maybe we should all like get some time to like go through all our scores and just change them to how we feel in retrospect because I feel like
I'd
sometimes
have
we'll
to
like
go through and rewatch the series, and I'm just not gonna do that.
same.
yeah,
Which
definitely
is,
same.
I guess, my general review of the series.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a number of years before I might watch some of the
episodes again.
episodes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be like up there with Frontier in series of Digimon that I'm not going to rewatch in a hurry. I mean, it's been long enough now that I kind of feel like watching Frontier again, but with my brain just turned completely off because there are parts I like about Frontier. They're just small ones.
I mean, I think
world, basically.
the answer is watch an abridged, list of
Oh,
episodes
just-
of the good ones.
You could just
Which is
wait
what-
for
what I
me
do
to
with
actually
this.
do the Moncast, and we'll get up to it.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
fair.
I can wait for that. But in any case, so that means that this episode on our overall ranking is now in 26th place. In terms of my own ranking, it's in 19th place, which feels like that's very high. But also, I like this episode, and it's just good because it's in a mix of bad episodes. Evie, where are we putting your ranking? Like this episode in your ranking, rather. I skipped a bunch of words. I got distracted by the booty again.
It goes in 48th place.
48th place, so that is in 48th place, which would make sense because that's how numbers work.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that it is underneath episode 3, Enter the Digital World, and above episode 23, The Messenger of Darkness, Devimon.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fair. And Quinn, where are we putting it in your ranking?
I think I'm gonna put it above 57, below 48.
Which I will now try to find. So, above 57, below 48. So that puts it in 37th place.
Yeah, respectable.
Yes.
It had that
And
ass.
I've now forgotten to use computers. There we are. So, yep, there we have it. So, yeah, we sort of have it in, like, I guess the middle overall, which is kind of reasonable. And, yeah, so all in all, that's definitely the most I think we've enjoyed an episode for a bit, though, at least. We had, like, more positive things to say, which is good. Do we have any miscellaneous thoughts about this episode before we move on to the comments?
Booty.
Booty.
Mm-hmm.
That booty dough.
Typing next time on Digimon Adventure : and punctuating it properly makes me feel like I'm typing C++ code.
That is fair. That is fair. I'm just still amazed that we're calling it Digimon Adventure : like that's what we went with. I know that we thought it was Psi, as in like the symbol Psi because of the Digivice symbol, but and then it's just like, and then everyone was just writing a Digimon Adventure : and it's still weird to me. Like, why is it called? Why? It makes me think that they were going to like do another Digimon Adventure : and then something after it. But Ghost Game.
Yeah,
And the
I mean, it
Zero
sounds
Two
like
movie doesn't have colons in it. The Zero Two movie, I'm fairly certain. So I don't know why they're doing this. Does anyone have any ideas? Because I am, yeah,
I lost it. I'm sorry.
lost it. Were you lost in translation,
Apparently.
That's the name of the show. But yeah, I don't know why. I can't believe we're still going on with it just being called Digimon Adventure : Like, honestly, at this point, I just wish it was called, like, Digimon Adventure, just Digimon Adventure. Like, we had the Hunter x Hunter series, and then we had the Hunter x Hunter new series when they rebooted it and they changed some things, and then they have, like, Hellsing, and they have Hellsing Ultimate. They could have just called it, like, just Digimon Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And then just make the fans just call it 2020 versus 1999. Like, that would have just been fine. Why did they just keep the colon there? I just don't.
Yeah, well,
I guess maybe
it's
time
so
will
that
tell.
now after Otogumi, when the thing after Ghost Game is another Digimon Adventure : something.
I quit.
Yep.
Digimon Adventure semicolon.
1.11 plus 2.22.
Digimon
No.
Adventure : inherits from.
I adventure.
Nah, I'm good, thanks. No more adventure. Drop tables where everything says any mention of Digimon and adventure in the same sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Please, just free me. On to our comments on YouTube. First up, we have JCMon05, who says, plot twist, the actual Great Catastrophe was the series itself. Colin's secret full title is Digimon Adventure: The Great Catastrophe. I'm on board. I like this.
Yep, the season was itself the Great Catastrophe. The Great Catastrophe was
Yeah.
the show we made along the way.
There it is.
Can I suggest
We
that for
then-
a title?
Yep, that works. We then have TGS, who says that the last episode was 4 out of 5. They really enjoyed the episode, and Taichi and Botamon's adventure was cute, and yay, more on the Ancient War. For now, they don't mind the twist about Omegamon since they want to know how if they return for the finale, and they also really liked Valkyrimon's nod to Norse mythology as a tester of warriors, and that she was once a holy Digimon before leaving the Digiworld, and then they headcanon the Algomon as the new evolution of Shakomon and Armadillomon, and then wonders why Seraphimon had a green aura instead of yellow. Takara's Digivice is yellow in the first season, but I know it's green in the second season.
Correct.
So I guess that, like, his aura was kind of like, the fact that he's green is, like, Takaru's color, like, that's kind of the clothes he wears, and his
Yeah.
Digivice in 02, so it kind of became his character color, even though, like, his Digivice is green and yellow. I think I'm sure I have a picture of his Digivice somewhere around this room. I have so much stuff around this room, so I'm just assuming. But yeah, if I recall correctly, it's like the opposite of Mimi's. It's like green. It's not green. It's yellow with green buttons. I don't know why I kept on saying green there. Maybe I'm just thinking about Algomon's booty again. Clearly. Dash Speed says that Tai in the series is Gary Stu, but they finally cared about this episode, and then just Omegamon happened. They'd like the series a lot more if the Essence Forms and Holy War or Nidhoggmon fight with using Frontier Digimon like Susanomon or Legendary Warriors, so we actually get the original stuff. It doesn't feel repetitive or just a tease as what we know from episode 5. And yeah, I agree when we do those big evolutions, like the fact that we had Omegamon like twice. We had him in the second episode, and then we had him in episode 18. Like, it feels like I don't care about Omegamon so much. Like, yep, that's cool. Already knew that was a thing. Don't know why we're showing it.
I'm real hyped for the third time we're gonna see Omegamon this series.
Yeah. Then we have Frozen Studios, who says that it's their favourite episode of the entire series, and that's really good. I'm glad. There were bits that I did like about the last episode, especially the callbacks to the Digimon movie. I was a big fan of that. Next up, we have a half Draggy, who says that Tai is really a Mary Sue in the series, and yep, that's what a protagonist is.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, we have Little Red Riding Hood, who says that they were happy to see the callbacks to the original Digimon movie and the animation. It was really awesome. Though the start of the evolution was kind of horrifying to watch. Absolutely agree. I honestly thought it was just going to be Patamon, as I mentioned last episode. They then say that this episode got a whole lot worse, and we learn that the great power the kids have been searching for is just Omegamon, a Digimon that has already appeared in the series twice, and yet totally agree with you there.
Yep.
They then say that maybe if those past episodes didn't use Omegamon, they might not be so bitter, but honestly, they're sick and tired of Omegamon in Digimon. It doesn't help that he appears in so many things aside from the series, like the movies, the games, and the card game. They knew that the crest power was going to lead into Omegamon, but they thought there was a little bit more to it, you know? They also wish that the other Digimon partners' adventure got something on Omegamon's level. It would be nice if they got to matter too. And yeah, I totally agree, like, since, like, the first few episodes of the series, I was kind of like, what if we all get, like, Jogress evolutions, and we all combine, and we get, like, Tyrant Kabuterimon, or we get, like, Ceresmon, or something cool, but it doesn't look like we're going to be doing that. We have, like, I don't know,
If
now
we're
I
lucky,
can't say for
we
sure,
might
but some
get some
episodes.
Lopmon, get a little love there, but I don't
As a
think
treat.
we're gonna stretch too far.
Yeah, I can't imagine us going too far there, but I really hope we get something, but maybe not. I don't know. I can but hope though. I got distracted by the booty again.
Did it make you poetic?
Alright everyone, so you can join us next time for episode 65, The Great Catastrophe Negamon. What are our predictions?
It'll be great.
We've predicted that Negamon will evolve into Pokemon or whatever.
Yeah, that's probably 60-40, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, that blank space did definitely just straight up look like a Pokemon's, like, the hellscape purgatory area.
Yeah, and it's adventure. We're not gonna, like, I think we're gonna invoke a Pokemon who will in turn say something interdimensional something.
Pizza crusts.
It is in fact related to the original adventure. Good night.
Yeah, and also, I guess that's kind of what happened in, like, one of the Tamers movies. I don't
Yep.
know. But, yeah, I really hope we don't do that. but I'm also
We need to retroactively
I know,
canonize Omegamon as an interdimensional traveler.
but no, I mean that did happen in that movie. But anyway, my worry is that like if that doesn't happen, it's going to be Negamon, and I've seen what Negamon looks like, and he just looks like another one of those brainless evil Digimon. Like
Yeah, he's a tadpole.
Yeah, he's like Nidhoggmon, which is just
Cool.
like
Who is exactly like eventually Devimon was, who is exactly like every other villain in this show.
yeah, which is a silent big bad guy, not like a smart big bad guy, just like a silent big violent monster that you have to make explode but isn't sentient, and
Yeah, like still just sort of
It's not
feels like
cool.
we
I don't
couldn't
like it.
afford voice actors.
which I guess, I mean, that could be the case, like, oh, we couldn't have as many voice actors because of COVID, so it was a bit harder to get voice talents in. I don't know, but looking at Negamon, I can't imagine him having a personality.
Oh god, no. I mean,
I could be wrong. He could just be like Waymon, how Waymon has like somewhat of a personality, but I can't see us doing that because I'd be really surprised if it turns out the Negamon has a personality. What I think might happen is if he doesn't evolve into a Pokemon, it'll be like a case of he's not actually the big bad. This is like a Pokemon's pet or something. I don't know. If I don't know. I'm just not expecting great things from this, but I'm also kind of expecting that Negamon dies in this episode. Like, I don't know why, but I just have a really strong feeling that will happen.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Negamon either dies or evolves into a Pokemon, one of the two.
Perhaps both.
Megamon
Yeah,
and Omegamon, right?
I guess, yeah, that is a thing. Any other predictions?
I see a nap in my future.
Oh, mood, yeah, same. So let's continue doing the wrap up. So the link dumps, link description, and you can see that we have Algomon's booty there. So that's pretty cool. Redbubble's also linked in the description, and you can contact us and stay updated. You can email us and send us spam at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode on our website or on the video on YouTube. You can follow us at @TranslationMon on Twitter, where you can see Algomon's booty, and you can find us on LostinTranslationMon on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And I'm at Digimon_hero on TikTok, so check that out. I'm on the Tickle Tackles now. I'm just brainstorming I don't know. I'm just old. I'm thinking of like a tickle tackle at the moment, and it's involving Algomon's booty. But I'm trying to think of how I'm going to formulate a TikTok with Algomon's booty. But I'm gonna have to do it. Maybe I know they have a green screen thing, so I think I might just do that. Yep, that's the idea. Okay, cool.
I mean,
There's
just
my
do
idea.
a Vine of 6 seconds of you staring at the screen and drooling.
Vine's dead, and that's sad. But TikTok is kind of like the new Vine, but you can make longer Vines, which
That was sort of the
Vine
joke
was
I was
perfect.
making.
okay, which yeah, I'm old.
not that old.
This is just Lost in Translation, also known as the show where I just realized that 6 years have passed and I'm no longer in my early 20s. And like I'm not sure if it's because of like lockdown, but I literally like today could not remember how old I was. I was like, am I 26 or 27? The answer was neither. I'm 28. And that realization, I have never felt older in my entire
issue
life.
Is that you used to be it, but then they changed what it was.
Yeah, I like yeah, that quote is like no joke, very very realistic, and I didn't expect
Entirely
it.
too accurate. Yes.
I didn't expect it to happen when I was still in my 20s.
Yeah, that's a
But I
mood.
feel so old.
See, it happened to me when
Like-
I was 7, so
Woof. That's rough. Anyway, so yeah, I'm on the tickle tackles now, being incredibly old. I'm the geriatric of the TikTok. It's very everyone's so young. Anyway, so you can chat with us and use our new emote, which is the Algomon booty emote. Thank you, Evie, for this glorious donation to the Discord server. Please join and use the arse as much as you can. We have a discussion thread on With the Will and one on the Digimon subreddit, but I'm just distracted by the booty at the moment, so it's a sub booty. Anyway, we'd appreciate if you review us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and any other podcast catcher that you use. Feel free to tell us that I spoke entirely too much about booty on this child-friendly podcast this week, and I apologize, but also the animators put it in the episode, so can you blame me? So yes, and if I don't see the review, you will have to tell me, because if I don't see the review, I don't know there's a review, and then I won't be able to read it. But if I do see the review, I can read it, but if I don't, please let me know that you've reviewed us, and then I will read it out on the show, and it'll be fun. Yay! And you can also donate to Patreon, and that's linked to, well, not to, I mean, I'm sure you can donate to Patreon, but if you donate to our Patreon, that'd be pretty cool, and it's linked in the description, and you can do so from as little as $1 a month, and that gets you access to the Patreon only areas of our Discord server, but you can use the booty even if you're on the free version, and there are higher levels more rewards, such as unedited and early episodes, and if you think I talked about booty a lot in the edited version of the episode, imagine how much I'm talking about booty in the, I don't know, the unedited version. There we are. Lost the word, even though I just said it like
The
2
unexpurgated
seconds
booty.
before.
The amounts of booty you're missing out on.
So
This
much booty.
baby
That's
can
a
hold
lot of booty.
so much booty.
Too much. Anyway, so thank you to our current supporters on Patreon. Joe, Stephen Reeves, who is Wild64, and Archive Our Own, Kadawashi, Chisai, who can follow on Twitter at Chisai236, Neoboo, who says you should follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236, Kyle, Lismet, who's Elecmon on Tumblr, Nicholas, Metal Mummymon, Sam, Emery from Gone While Hunting, a Hunter Rewatch podcast. I think I said Hunter 3 times there, but whatever. That's a podcast.
Hunter.
Magnus, Hunter. I had to write down Hunter as in the words, because if I actually wrote down Hunter x Hunter, I would say Hunter x Hunter.
Well, yeah.
Anyway,
'Cause
Magnus,
you're,
Lucas.
a normal human being.
Is that not how it's supposed to be said?
No.
Oh,
No,
I've been saying it
no,
wrong this
this-
whole time.
yes,
Yeah,
the
X
realization
silent,
is
obviously.
Obviously.
yes. Look, if the X is combined with ROS, it's pronounced cross. But if the X is there, it's silent. It's like Romeo Juliet, but Romeo is the, I don't know, that was,
I think this
I lost
metaphor
my
got
train of
away
thought.
from you here.
Yeah, the metaphor went away. Anyway, Magnus, Lucas, JSimon05, Patrick, Jason, Great Nuki, and Jay David. You can also make a one-off donation on PayPal, which you found in the description. It's paypal.me/Edgemon. You can also donate to me on my coffee account, ko-fi.com/Edra. If you just want to send me like a few dollars donation and then just like have the message be like butts, I will laugh, no joke, for probably like 3 hours straight, because I am 12. I'm the oldest 12-year-old ever. That would be hilarious. Side note, when I made the joke about sending me as many Digimon the movie soundtracks as possible to my PO box, nobody has sent that yet, so please, just a reminder, I still want to fill my car with the Digimon movie soundtrack with the 8-stacker, because I feel like that'd be just a funny bit, and I can put that in the tickle tackles. Anyway, so thank you so much for listening, and thank you to my wonderful, wonderful co-host for joining me. Quinn, can we find you anywhere?
God, I hope not.
I really honestly expect you to say staring at that ass.
No,
I can't
that's where
stop.
we'll find you.
That's where you'll always find me for the rest of forever. I'm sorry. Chloe.
Somewhere staring at
Ring
that
at booty.
You can find me
Chloe, where can we...
staring at that ass.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
Evie, where can we find you?
On the Twitters at Evie Patamon, and one day on the Moncast when I edit.
I can't wait till we're back on the Moncast, because I will try to remember that the Algomon booty to be a reference there at some point, because I don't know. I just like... I wish it was my birthday coming up, because I would make myself a birthday card, which is just Algomon. I have a problem.
Just
like,
do it
I
why need an occasion?
Yeah,
Just treat yourself.
Just
Like, I think, like, Chisai and I need to, like, form a, like, support group for people who are just, like, attracted to Digimon. But just, at least,
I
like,
don't
I'm
think it's so
attracted
much
to
a
Algomon.
support
Wow.
group as it is a club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna join this club of, like, I like Algomon, he got the booty, but also, like, I kind of want to be Algomon, I kind of want to look like that, like, those legs, though, like,
We're all very
did not
familiar with the
skip
feeling.
Yeah.
Did not skip any day at the gym, ever. Like, perfect. Anyway, so I think I was done talking about everything, so I guess I moved
Were
it back
you?
onto booty, so at least that's a thing. But anyway, so thank you so much for everyone to join me. That was some sentence. Thank you, join me, words come out my mouth, into microphone, and then go into your ears. And I'm sorry. I apologize that I'm inside your ears right now. Anyway, So thanks for joining me to my co-host, and thanks for having me in your ears, listeners, and we'll see you all next time, and hopefully my brain does make a little more sense, maybe. Yes, good. Sire? I almost said sire. What does that mean? I meant to say bye, but then I said see ya, and I was like, I don't say see ya, I said bye. So, bye.
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 Bye.